This is Kay Kritiques. Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Kay Kritiques, where we discuss all things South African television. Guys, I have been out and missing in action because this new Showmax app, honestly, I've been having troubles with it. Like on every device, it will say you only subscribe to the mobile device. And then when I go to watch on my phone, all the episodes are locked and it was saying like subscribe to a different plan, but I'm subscribed to the all devices plan, the 90 Rand one. So I was kind of confused as to why it was acting up. So I've managed to sort it out. So now I'm back and we are discussing Adulting Season 2 Episode 9. I am back. Please do make sure that you subscribe if you like this type of content, like the video if you enjoy it, and comment down below your thoughts on this episode. Without any further rambling, let us get into it. Now, you guys already know the drill. I go through the gents and their storylines one by one, and today is not any different. So let us get into it. I wanna kick it off with Vuyani. Now listen, listen here. Vuyani stresses me out. Out of all the gents, Vuyani is the one who gives me the most stress. So he's on a walk with Zelda and they're enjoying themselves at like a park. They're enjoying the view, and Zelda's like, maybe I should join some of your classes. Vuyani, obviously, he still has his quote-unquote private clients, private sessions. The brothel that he's running at the gym is still taking place, so he actually doesn't want Zelda to find out. So he's like, no, you're gonna distract me. But we all know why he doesn't want Zelda to join the classes, right? And we see that he still has something going on with Portia, played by Thabiso. After they're done, Portia actually gives him a bottle of champagne, a vintage bottle of champagne. He gives it to Zelda. The fact that Vuyani, every single time he gets paid, every single time he gets something, he goes and gives everything to Zelda, buys Zelda Gucci, buys Zelda expensive gifts, buys her a phone, all of that stuff. I just feel like, you know what, he doesn't have any financial literacy and he's literally competing with men who have money in Zelda's life, because we do see Zelda admiring this bottle of champagne, and then she's like, oh yeah, I saw this bottle in my boss's special cabinet. Vuyani, you could literally see his face that he knew what was going on. Like he knew that Zelda has something going on, either with the boss or a colleague at work, person who fixed her phone, company phone, all that stuff. Like it's so obvious that Zelda has something going on with the boss. It's so obvious. Either that or the boss wants her and she's playing into that. But Vuyani doesn't take that well, and I feel like deep down he actually knows what's going on. Here we are now. Vuyani is having a class at the gym. Boom! Out of nowhere, Portia's husband, he comes in and he's like, yeah, you devil, you bastard. And he's confronting Vuyani and he's like, yeah, you are exercising my wife and working out all her muscles and kinks. I want you to take that ball. Now he pulls out a gun. And he points it at Vuyani. He's like, I want you to take that exercise ball and I want you to show everybody how you have been sleeping with my wife. How you have sex with my wife. I want you to show everybody here. And Vuyani's like, what's your problem? And the gun goes off. It means this guy means business. He's not here to play. And Vuyani takes the ball. He takes the ball and he starts going at it. He goes at it. And the guy takes a phone and he records everything that's going on. And apparently the clip went viral. I don't even know what to say. I've been saying that Vuyani shouldn't be going back to sugar mamas and living the life that he's been living. But obviously he went back because he needs the money, he needs the extra cash flow in order to impress Zelda, because everything he's doing is not even that he's using this money to build something for himself. He's using it to impress Zelda. Speaking of Zelda, Zelda is fuming after seeing this video. This video went viral, everybody's seen it, and she wants to sue Portia's husband for defamation of character. Like, we cannot let this guy get away with this, of accusing you of such atrocious things. First thing in the morning tomorrow, we are going to my office. I work in a law firm. I'm a lawyer. I'm studying law. We're going to sue this guy for everything he has, to a point where he's going to come back and beg for your forgiveness. Vuyani, obviously knowing the truth, is like, no, babe, let's let this whole thing go. Zelda is like a dog with the bone. Zelda does not want to let this go. Even the following day, she's like, baby, we are not letting this go. Give me your ID number. Now I'm going to open a case against this guy. And Vuyani is backed into a corner, right? And he actually ends up confessing. He's like, you want to know the truth? I had sex with her. I slept with her. Are you happy? I didn't want it to happen. She kept coming after me. And it ended up happening. Now let's get into Mpho's storyline. So in the previous episode, we saw Zitu actually forgiving Mpho. They slept together, and I was like, Zitu girl, what are you doing? Because I knew that at that point, I don't think Zitu knew that Mpho was still sleeping with Upalisa. So now Zitu, she's being spicy, and she's like, do you know the meaning of my name? Mpho is like, your name means keeping quiet. And it's like, no, my name actually means choosing peace, even when peace is not an option. She disrespected Mpho in front of the kids, of which I felt that was wrong. Like, I understand you're angry at him, but you've chosen to forgive him. So why are you holding on to that? And why are you doing this in front of the kids? Because I feel like, okay, have your differences, argue all you want, but not in front of the kids. Don't expose the kids to that. Mpho, he doesn't want the kids to know. And I'm like, why not? So your kids, you just want them to think you're perfect and all of this. And at the end of the day, when they meet their sister, when they're having a relationship with their younger sister, they're gonna know that this is not mommy's child, but it's daddy's child. Whereas mom and dad were married. Like, kids are gonna put two and two together. So I don't know how long he wants to hide this from the kids. And I feel like him not wanting the kids to know, him wanting to keep this quiet, tells me that if Zitu hadn't found out, he wouldn't have told them. He probably would have kept this for as long as possible. Now he's like, I don't want the kids to know. I want us to fight for this marriage. I want us to go to therapy. And this was like, oh, so now you want to go to therapy. I don't want to go to therapy because we tried therapy and it failed, because everything that we learned in therapy, you didn't even implement it. The one chance or the one time where we had an issue where you had to practice radical honesty with me, you didn't. You lied to me. So why are we going back to therapy? And he's like, no, it was working, blah, blah, blah. And this is like, I don't want to see no Dr. Gibson. I want to see your side chick. I want to see Upalisa, the mother of your child. And Upalisa doesn't take this well. She's like, Mpho, I've kept so many secrets for you. I've done so much for you. And now you want me to go to your wife? Because you are the father of this child. You are the one who's supposed to be calling the shots and doing everything. Now, why are you involving me in your marital problem? Mpho is like, at the end of the day, this is about the child, of which I agree. Obviously, at the end of the day, Zitu has to be part of the child's life. Now we're at this meeting. Listen here. Zitu is hot and bothered. She's losing her marbles, basically. Like, she's losing her marbles. She's calling Palisa names, and at the end of the day, I don't think this meeting, when she called it, was about the child. She just wanted to sue Palisa and insult her and to try and make herself feel better and blame Palisa for Mpho's actions at the end of the day. I don't understand why she couldn't just put the differences aside and just focus on, okay, how do we move forward? Because at the end of the day, the child is the most important thing here, right? But obviously, they don't do that. They're not having a mature conversation. Palisa lets it slip that she's still sleeping with Mpho. She's like, yeah, that's not what he said last week when he was busy having sex with me, and I love his D, blah, blah, blah. Like, honestly, this was a whole mess. And Mpho's face, like, he's trying to deal with it, but they don't even care about him. They're still arguing, they're still going at it, and Mpho's trying to stop them, but they're not listening to him. These are the consequences of his actions. He should be feeling bad. He shouldn't be having a good time. Like, he doesn't deserve anything good at this point, because this is all his fault. I just feel bad for this little girl who is innocent in all of this. Like, Zitu is not going to treat this child well. Like, she was calling the child like illegitimate and all of this other stuff, and it's like at the end of the day, I don't think Zitu is going to be able to put this aside and love this child. And now Zitu is like, I want every single form of communication to go through me. I want to be the one to liaise with the police about the needs of the child. We're going to take care of the child. Do you even have medical aid, which was another jab at the police? Like, it was a whole lot. And in my head, I'm like, does Uzi to really think that Mpho is not talking to Palisa and is being truthful? Like the admin of going through your man's phone and being the one to talk and do all of this and communicate with the Palisa, it's just a lot of work. But for me, it's like, does she really think that Mpho is going to stop communicating with the Palisa, or that Mpho is being truthful when he says, yeah, I'm not speaking to Palisa and whatever? Like, he's been lying to you for so many years. Like, at this point, it's like, just hang it up, girl. Just leave, because he's a good-for-nothing man. Like, the things that she was saying in the previous episode when she was speaking to Bonga's mom, and she was saying, I just want somebody who loves me, somebody who respects me, and somebody who sees the value and sees my place in their life. And I don't think Mpho is that. I feel like, honestly, things that you value, you do everything in your power not to lose them. If you know that you value this person and you don't want to lose them, and you love them and you want them in your life, and they hold such a big place in your life and they're worth everything to you, you're not going to cheat, you're not going to lie, you're not going to do things that will jeopardize the relationship. Maybe Mpho does love Uzi too. I don't know. I don't think so. But he definitely doesn't value her. Zitu, she's fighting a losing battle. I don't think she should stay, but it's up to her anyway. And now Upalisa actually wants to leave the estate. She's like, I don't want to stay here anymore, and I feel like things are getting messy. Your wife insulted me and you didn't even defend me. Like, this is a whole mess, and I did not sign up for that. At the end of the day, I don't want to be known as a secret my entire life. I don't want to be known as a side chick for my entire life. I don't want to be known as the other woman, or the woman who ruined somebody's marriage, you know. And it's like, Mpho, you need to stop being honest with yourself, and you need to be honest with Uzi, and you need to be honest with me as well, because there's a lot of other men who want me out there, men who are single, men who would treat me better than what you're doing. I don't know why the writers made Mpho not have any redeeming qualities. Like, I don't think there's any way that they can turn this around from Mpho being a trash person to him being a stand-up guy. Like, there's nothing redeemable about him. There's nothing that makes me be like, oh, Mpho, maybe if he changes, we'll like him. Because why is it that he says now, those men only want you because they don't know that you have a child. Once they find out that you have a child, they're not gonna love you, blah blah blah. Whereas he's married and he has 3 kids, and one of those kids is outside of marriage. Who would want him other than Zitu and Palisa, obviously? Like, who would want him? And then he's like, you need to be loyal to a married man. That is crazy to me. Like, that was baffling to me. I'm like, what is Mpho talking about? Not you need to be loyal to a married man. Like, honestly, that's where Mpho's storyline ended. And honestly, I'm just, Mpho, I don't even know what to say at this point. Like, I feel like I don't even know what to say. So Mpho, get out of here. Like, Mpho is a manipulator. Like, he says to Zitu, I want therapy, I want us to fix things, I want us to work on things. Hey, we fight for our marriage, fight for our family. Whereas he's doing the exact opposite. Like, his words say, I want to fight for our family, but his actions don't show that. And then with Upalisa as well, is that, the reason why I can't leave Zitu is because I'm married in community of property, but you are the glue that's holding my marriage together. Like, all that other nonsense. And then he's gonna come now and say, no man would want you. I'm the only man who could want you because you have a child. He is a manipulator. He's a liar, a manipulator, and I don't see how they can turn this around. Even if he turns out to be the stand-up guy by the end of the show, like the series finale, I still won't like him. Bonga. So Bonga is still in mourning. He's taking his anger out on everybody, his personal trainer, the helper just wanted to clean the bedroom where the dad was staying, and he comes in and he shouts at her, and you can see that this woman is much older than Bonga, but the disrespect and the way he was shouting at her, I was like, yes, you're mourning and we understand that, but that's no reason why you should mistreat and insult and disrespect people. I don't think that his anger, like, and taking it out on other people is a good outlet. He needs therapy, and I've been saying this. Bonga needs therapy. He needs to work through his daddy issues, abandonment issues, and he needs to work through why does he hate women so much. Because I've been saying this, like the way Bonga treats women is actually disgusting. So while they're at the gym, Eric brings up Nkanyezi and her presence at the funeral. Is like, oh, she showed up and stuff like that. And Bonga confesses, came back into my life when things were tough, and she helped me through this tough time, and she helped to make me feel better. And he's like, man, I love this girl. Like, I love this woman so much. Erica's like, how? Weren't you the one who was saying that you're over her and you've moved on and stuff like that? He calls her up, obviously, and he's like, I want to take you out to lunch. And she's very busy. He gets annoyed by that. And I think it's also the annoyance of now she has another man, so I'm no longer like top priority in her life. Or she's not gonna give me that time because of this other guy. They end up going to lunch anyway, so I think Kanyezi found some free time. Everything that Bonga will say, she'll be like, oh yeah, Thabiso this, Thabiso that. Bonga's face, like you can see that Bonga is experiencing hectic chest pains. Let me tell you something, like he's experiencing chest pains, like Thabiso this. Oh, Thabiso will tell me if I snore. Oh, Thabiso also says I have a calming aura. Oh, Thabiso this, Thabiso that, Thabiso this. After the date, Nkanyezi is on her way home. Bonga is fuming, chases after her, like in her car, beeping, Papa. It's like, pull over in this car right now. He confronts her, he's like, why did you even bring him to my father's funeral? I was going through a hard time and you bring him. Why did you move on? And Nkanyezi is like, oh, so you're blaming me for moving on with my life. We are over. Like, we are over. Me and you are no longer in a relationship, and I don't see a reason why I can't move on with my life and find happiness. And then he's like, do you even love this guy? Yeah, he's not good enough, blah, blah, blah. What, I'm better, what. And then she's like, listen, I don't care what you think. This man loves me and he chooses me. Which was the biggest thing in their relationship, that Bonga constantly and consistently chose the boys over Nkanyezi. She never felt like a priority in his life. So now she's found somebody who chooses her and puts her first. She says to him, you know, Bonga, you're exactly like your father. You're just like your father. But the only difference between you and your dad is that you won't have a life and you're going to die alone. And he had a wife. That's the only difference. You just want to control me and you want to manipulate me. Yo, Bonga loses it. And honestly, that was a low blow. Like, honestly, there was a low blow. There was no need for, you're just like your dad, you're going to end up alone. Like, you could have just said, you just want to manipulate me and control me, and I'm not having that. Like, there's a different way of saying that. No, Bonga was like, fuck you, Nkanyezi, F you. Like, he was literally angry. It's like, you think you're better than me? You and your brother, y'all think you're better than everybody? You and your brother are nothing. And let me tell you, after that incident, I would have blocked his number. I would have literally got a restraining order, because you're never seeing my face ever again. After saying fuck you to me, he would have never seen my face ever again. And then after this now, he tries to drown out his anger and his heartbreak in women, which is what I thought was going to happen, like after the funeral. I didn't think that he was going to try and get back with Nkanyezi. I thought he was going to immediately go and sleeping around and all the stuff that he's been doing all along. So it didn't take that much. And now he's with the lady and they're getting it on after the club. And he's like, I want to close the door. And this lady's like, what the hell are you talking about? You want to close the door and stuff like that. But it was actually the room where his dad was sleeping. So like, just being in that moment with that lady and then looking and then seeing this bedroom door that's open, like, I think maybe he felt some kind of guilt, or the grief just hit him in that moment. and he wanted to close it out, but obviously closing the door to a bedroom is not going to fix everything. We have Eric's grandma, Maketi, and Ncumisa. They're busy arguing. Ncumisa allegedly stole money from the grandmother, and I honestly feel like she did steal the money. Obviously she's denying it, and she emotionally blackmails Eric like, your mother hates me, blah blah blah, tata, no, I would never do that. And she puts on this baby voice, and Eric falls for it, but we all know that she did it. And Umaketi warns Eric and is like, I don't know why you can't see that this is a problem child. Like, she's a problem child. Ncumisa is talking to Eric and she's like, I don't feel safe here. Granny wants to hit me, Umaketi wants to hit me, and I just no longer feel safe. And Eric's like, no, she's from a different generation where things were sort of up with the belt, but you're safe here, we all love you. And Ncumisa like, I want to go back to the Eastern Cape. Like, even at school I feel left out, I feel like I'm forcing things. And honestly, I just feel like this is all an act. I think it's all an act because she has a lot of friends and she's always coming home late and stuff like that. So who is she hanging up with if she's not hanging out with friends? If she's forcing things, why would people go with her and stay with her out until late if she's forcing things? She guilt-tripped Eric, and Eric ended up agreeing for her to go to the pins down. And now she's at the pins down, she doesn't come back. Eric is getting worried and he goes looking for her. When he gets there, she's smoking, she's drinking, she's drunk, and she's like, hey, what are you doing here? Your friends are not here, go away, and stuff like that. And I was like, now this is the real Ncumisa. Now Eric is finally seeing her true colors. And now they get home. It's like, do you want to be a drunkard? Do you want to be pregnant? Do you want to fall pregnant? Do you want to be a drunkard? Do you want to be a druggie? Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing with your life? And then she's like, well, my life is a mess because my dad is a mess. And if it wasn't for you, my mom would still be alive. She says all of this stuff. And I feel like this is more than just grieving for Natasha's death and grieving for her mom. It's something much more serious, and she also needs therapy. Her and Bonga just need, all of these people need therapy. I mean, grief looks different for everybody, but I feel like this is more than that. Now, obviously, because she's back chatting Eric and she's like, you're a mess. Obviously, my life is going to be a mess. Leave me alone. Get out of my life. If it wasn't for you, then my mom would still be alive and stuff like that. Eric is like, take this phone and book yourself a bus ticket back to Eastern Cape. Then she's like, oh, you want me to leave? And he's like, yeah. Oh, you guys are gonna miss me. He's like, no, we won't. Get out of here and go back to the Eastern Cape because you are annoying me right now. And yeah, guys, that was Adulting Season 2, Episode 9, titled Fight Night. Ncumisa is just gonna keep getting worse. And I feel like Eric should have established like discipline earlier on, because now it's too late. Like, kind of like she's playing him like a fiddle. Like, she knows his weak spots and she's gonna use them to her advantage. I do hope that Bonga goes to therapy. I sincerely do hope that he goes to therapy and deals with his issues, because he has deeper issues. Vuyani, honestly, I'm actually glad that I'm assuming that Zelda broke up with him, but we'll see in the next episode. Maybe she'll stay like Zitu, since they're very, very good friends. And I just want Zitu to find out that Upalisa and Mpho are still sleeping together. Like, I need her to leave this guy, and I need Mpho to finally face the consequences of his own actions, because I don't think he has. Zitu has forgiven him time and time again. They've stayed together. They've built their marriage or whatever. He's having his bread buttered on both sides. So yeah, guys, that is Adulting Season 2, Episode 9. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And I will see you guys in the next video.